Today's video will be going over the Game Awards 2019, which is coming up, and it is going to feature around 10 brand new game announcements, and the show is going to be running about 2.5 hours, so it's going to be a pretty big venue for a lot of new game revelations. Also, not only is the Game Awards coming up, but there's a rumor circulating that PlayStation is going to be hosting a brand new State of Play sometime this month. And lastly, PlayStation 4 Pro was said to be a test case for PlayStation 5's Lifecycle, according to Sony. We'll talk that at the end of this video. The Game Awards 2019 will feature around 10 new game announcements, award show creator Jeff Keighley said in a Reddit AMA. He noted, quote, "We have a bunch of brand new games being announced at the show. I think there are around 10 new games projects being revealed if you want to count the things that no one has heard about yet. As always, the internet has a lot of really bad information out there about what you think is at the show, but it is sure fun to read." Keighley also confirmed that the recently leaked Resident Evil 3 remake is not one of the announcements. Quote, "There are no plans, never were, to do anything with Resident Evil 3 at the show. A lot of these leaks are completely wrong. Nothing about our show has leaked as of this writing." Obviously, I'm not gonna say that all of the leaks about the Game Awards are 100% accurate, but if you're the host of the show, you're gonna be like, nah, none of these leaks are right, just so you still have that element of surprise intact. It's kind of foolish to completely write off all leaks. I mean, don't you remember E3, what was it, 2018, where Walmart Canada literally leaked just about every game that was about to be announced? Video game leaks are absolutely a real thing, and we've seen games get leaked all the time. To completely write them off and say all of them are wrong is absolutely foolish. However, there is a certain level of validity to some leaks versus others. They're not all going to be accurate, but they are accurate a lot of times. That's not really what I want to focus on. What I want to talk about is the fact that there are going to be 10 new game announcements. That's pretty huge. And that's noted to be 10 brand new game announcements. So that's not talking about, gameplay updates of games that are already existing, because I could easily see a game like Elden Ring getting gameplay at the VGAs. That just makes a ton of sense. I could see a lot of the other 2020 titles, whether it be a Final Fantasy VII Remake, Last of Us Part 2, get new content revealed at the Game Awards, and those are games that have already obviously been announced. Personally, if I had to make one request for the Game Awards and something that I would like to see, I would love to see a brand new Splinter Cell. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen at this point, as I've been calling for a new Splinter Cell game for like 2 years now, and seemingly at every big event it's just a disappointment from my end, considering we haven't seen it yet. But nonetheless, that's just something that I would really like to see. Other things we could see, maybe Batman Arkham Legacy, maybe whatever Rocksteady's working on, although I just don't even like to talk about Rocksteady anymore at this point, just because that's one studio where there has been seemingly a lot of rumors and quote-unquote leaks. However, it really hasn't amounted to anything of substance happening. Whatever the case may be, the Game Awards 2019 will be broadcasted live on December 12th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and it'll be available through YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, Twitter, and various other platforms. It'll be very accessible, and all of the content that is revealed at the Game Awards, we'll be covering that in depth, and I'll give you guys all my thoughts on that, probably on December 13th, so you guys can be on the lookout for that. Alright, moving on from that, the Game Awards isn't going to be the only major event in December by the looks of it. There is a brand new rumor circulating that PlayStation is going to be hosting a State of Play event in December. Sony PlayStation usually has new reveals or announcements during State of Play. There is a new rumor suggesting that they have one in December. State of Play is usually streamed live on YouTube, and while it can be a pre-recorded program, the videos do get uploaded on the official YouTube channel. Some eagle-eyed fans have spotted that the official YouTube channel was updated roughly 3 days ago, which is around the same time as the Resident Evil 3 remake artwork was leaked on the PlayStation Store. Adding more to this rumor, Dreams for PS4 has been rated by the Australian Ratings Board at the end of November. Usually when games get rated in Australia, it is normally linked to a release date or an announcement happening sometime thereafter. Same thing happened with Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, as well as Persona 5 Royal. There was a screenshot taken from the playlist page for State of Play. The last update occurred around 3 days ago. Nico partner analyst Daniel Ahmad had suggested that Resident Evil 3 Remake wasn't supposed to get leaked this early, and he was subtly hinting at another event happening before the Game Awards, which could be a brand new State of Play based on the update to the playlist, and considering the fact that the leak occurred on the PlayStation Store, so all of that lines up pretty nicely. Games are usually uploaded on the PlayStation Store if they are going up for pre-order, and it's possible that Capcom was planning to reveal the new Resident Evil 3 Remake and Resident Evil Resistance during a State of Play event, and it's also possible that both of these announcements are planned for later this month, since we do have the Game Awards and Jump Fiesta as two upcoming events. Expect a lot of announcements and revelations for a lot of stuff. Some stuff is gonna get lost in the shuffle, but I'll try to keep you guys up to date with everything. Given that we've got the Game Awards and that's a major show, however, if we parlay a State of Play on top of that, that means a lot of announcements are gonna be happening in December, and it is gonna be a little bit difficult to keep up with everything, but we'll do our best getting you guys up to date. As far as State of Play is concerned, the last one did happen back in September. It's one that I don't really like to think about at this point, because State of Play back in September was built all around The Last of Us Part 2 and announcing the release date for that game. They announced the release date, and then just a little bit after that State of Play event, they ended up delaying the game by a whopping 3 months, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But nonetheless, hopefully the next State of Play does fare a little bit better in terms of, you know, delivering on the announcements and everything like that. But whatever the case may be, we'll keep you guys posted on that. And lastly, I do want to note something very interesting noted by Sony. As in an interview with Game Informer as a part of the 25th birthday of PlayStation, Masayasu Ito, Executive Vice President of Hardware Engineering and Operation at Sony Interactive Entertainment, might have just provided us with a hint. According to him, the PlayStation 4 Pro was basically a test case after Sony realized that the PlayStation 5 lifecycle would have to be different than the previous of generation. It was noted, quote, "Indeed, in the past, the cycle for a new platform was 7 to 10 years, but in the view of the very rapid development and evolution of technology, it's really a 6 to 7 year platform cycle. Then we cannot fully catch up with the rapid development of the technology. Therefore, our thinking is that as far as a platform is concerned, for the PlayStation 5, it's a cycle of maybe 6 to 7 years, but doing that, a platform lifecycle, we should be able to change the hardware itself and try to incorporate advancements in technology." That was the thinking behind it, and the test case of that thinking was the PlayStation 4 Pro that launched in the midway of the PS4 launch cycle. I've always noted this, that while I do think it's great that a console like the PS4 or the PS3 can last gamers for, you know, 7 to 8 years, at some point you have to realize that 7 to 8 years for a console generation, it is just too long. That's why towards the latter portion of these generations and towards these consoles' life, you see the performance of these games and just the expectations of the games really deteriorating. While games like God of War are still pushing the console to their absolute limit, you play God of War on a base PS4 and you realize that there are some real limitations that the game does have being on a base PlayStation 4. That's where the PS4 Pro does come in, and it definitely does extend the experience a little bit. However, there are limitations in that as well. I still think they have to ultimately settle in at a 6 to 7 year console generation, just because that's the expectation at this point, but I've always been of the mindset that yes, some people are absolutely okay with lesser performance. They're okay with a sub 30 frames per second with frame rates dipping and whatever the case may be. Some people haven't even been exposed to higher frame rates. Some people don't even know what 60 frames per second is. Some people don't care at all about that. They just care about the fundamental design of the game, and that's absolutely fine. However, I would like it for the PlayStation 5 from the get-go having two separate options where there is a more expensive option. I ultimately don't think we're going to get that, just because, as it was noted, the PlayStation 4 Pro was seen as a test case, and that was a mid-generation update. I ultimately think that that's what the PlayStation 5 is going to get as well. It's going to get a mid-generation refresh where it's going to have the same lineup of games, however, the performance is going to be enhanced a little bit. And some of you guys might be thinking, well, Sony already said that PS5 games, they're gonna be 4K, they're gonna be 60 FPS. You are absolutely kidding yourself if you think every game is gonna be 4K 60 FPS. I highly doubt that that is gonna be the case. You're only gonna get so much power and so much performance out of a $400 to $500 box, and 4K 60 FPS, I'm sure that's gonna be possible with some games. However, if you're telling me that's gonna be possible, native 4K, full locked 60 frames per second on every game, all of the top tier exclusives, I'm just gonna find that very hard to believe. Can Sony prove me wrong? Absolutely. Do I see that happening? Absolutely not. We'll see how things shape up when the PS5 does release in late 2020. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, around 10 brand new game announcements are coming at the Game Awards 2019. That'll be happening on December 12th. PlayStation might be hosting a brand new State of Play in December, as well as a new rumor is suggesting. And the PlayStation 4 Pro was said to be a test case for the PlayStation 5's life cycle. And it looks like they're aiming a 6 to 7 year lifespan with the PS5. And something I do want to note, while they're saying 6 to 7 years, It could be that they plan on supporting the PS5 for 6 to 7 years, but think about the fact that they could release a hypothetical PlayStation 6 in 4 to 5 years, and then just support the PlayStation 5 for a couple years thereon after. I could see that being a very, very real scenario, but we'll see how things shake out, and I'll keep you guys up to date on all of the information. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.